going on, fam? What's happening? You guys know what time it is, man. It's your boy Rico back at it again. I didn't think I was going to show up, but we got one more show. One more show before the year is up. Before the year is up, and we are up to 26. I'm going to wait for my man's doc to jump in here because we got some injuries to talk about. I don't think I quite like the language that I heard from my coach, our coach, Sean McDermott, talking about Ed Oliver. That was the name, quite frankly, I was anticipating an early return. Deep down, I was like, you know what? I hope he just surprises everybody. He healed up real quick, and he goes, surprise, guys, I'm back. But now we hear that he got his knee scoped out while on injury, while rehabbing, excuse me. And I believe one of the questions was this something that happened before or like right around the time that he was rehabbing his shoulder? Nah, bro, that happened recently, fairly recently. So recent enough that you just got the surgery like within days ago. I don't like that, man. I don't know what these guys are doing outside, you're saying of rehab, but yo, there goes Ed Oliver's knee, so he's got to scope that. I know it's minor from what I'm understanding that this knee scope is minor, but it does push his timeline. Coach says it's a little too early for him to tell, but I mean, shoot, man. We came into this potentially with we may see Ed or we may not see Ed. And I mean, we've been playing ball without Ed since week 6, and we've been all right. We've been all right without Ed, but Ed does bring a different element of football to this team, a different intensity, and he brings a lot to the table. He brings a lot to the table. That is our 3-tech pass rushing DT, right? That's the guy putting pressure and moving guys off the rip and allowing guys to fall into the arms of Bosa or Rousseau or whichever. So we've adapted. We've done all right for the most part. And here we are. With a laundry list of injuries. So let us tap into this injury list real quick. And we'll get our guy, the thigh doc, to kind of really share his thoughts and what it's going to look like. And I'll tell you right now, I kind of anticipated that the laundry list of injuries was going to be a lengthy one, and it did not disappoint. So let me share my screen with y'all for just a moment, and we'll keep it rocking. Let me see what my man is doing. He goes, I'm eager. What's this guy doing, man? Jump in, man. Anyway, let me pull up the screen real quick. And by the way, while I pull the screen up, how you guys doing? Are we prepping for the good old New Year's Eve? Are we going to be dropping the ball and counting down? I don't know if some folks will be dropping the ball in other ways, but you know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do to bring in the new year. All right, so let's bring up this injury report because it's a long one, bro. It's a long one. I'm not going to lie. I ain't going to hold you. So let us share my screen real quick, and that way we can kind of get into it a little bit and go from there. So obviously, what you guys are going to see here is a lot of did not practice and limited. And I'll tell you, coach was talking about there's a lot of walkthroughs that are being done right now. So where you see the not practicing is because it's a walkthrough. So Josh Allen obviously being on that list, I'm not as concerned with that one because he was on the list with the same injury the week before, and he produced and he played. He tweaked it in the game, but prior to tweaking it, he was moving pretty fluidly. And he did pretty well after the fact as well. He moved a little gingerly at first, but once the game kind of proceeded, it seems as though Josh kind of just played through it, played through the pain. So how much they play Josh going into this, he says he's almost home. All right, how much this plays into it, we'll soon find out. But for the most part, that foot injury, I can't see anything to be worried about. Coach talks about, hey, I'm not worried. He's trending in the right direction. And it seems as though these boys are going to be playing into this game. Now, How long they play into this game? No, that's a whole different ballgame. But why let myself diagnose and talk about it? Let me bring my guy Thigh Duck on, and we can get this thing cracking. And I'm not just gonna bring him on like I normally do. I got to bring him on with his natural intro. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring my guy on in just a moment. Watch out. All right, my guy, Thigh Doc. What's good? What's happening?
What's up? Happy New Year's.
Were you eager to jump on here or what?
I'm very eager.
Listen, what's up with the lettuce, brother? You got a lot of hair growing on. You are we going super long? Are we going back to the 90s days or what?
It's actually how my hair falls. I usually get a hat on or get it gelled.
There you go. You got a full head of lettuce, baby. I like it. You're gonna be
I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation right now, so I'm kind of waking up.
Are we vacationing in Milan? Where are we vacationing? You look like you're in somewhere tropical. Where could it be? Where is it? Where we at?
I'm in my mother's guest room in Buffalo.
I'm in Buffalo, my mother's guest room.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right to it.
Went to the game. Went to the game Sunday.
Oh, you were at the game. That's right.
Yeah.
You were. What a horrible game to go to in terms of the rain. Would you rather go to rain game or snow game? Is there a difference?
Snow, yes, it's the worst. The cold rain is the worst, in which what it was. Everything's soaked. You got gloves on that are supposed to be waterproof, and it's just like they're not. If they're in water that long, they are not waterproof. And I brought my son. He's 9, and he's a trooper. I thought he was going to want to go, and I actually kind of wanted to go, but he was like, we're staying till the end. And then I was like, oh, this is what a core memory. They're going to come back. He's going to say, Dad, I kept us there. But we lost it at the end, which sucks.
Yeah. I mean, where were your seats? End zone? Were you
we always have the same seats. We got seasons. So we're in the corner.
Seasons, okay.
Yeah. Corner, end zone level. We're behind Elvis by 20.
You were on the opposite side then? Opposite side of
we were.
That's tough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, man. Other than the rain and obviously core memories made with your son, we love it. Yeah. We got some injuries to talk about, man. Let's start with the big dog, Josh Allen. Mr. Allen tweaked the right ankle again in the previous game, but he played through it. He played through it like a trooper, like an OG. What do we make of his injury going into this week against the Jets? Because the big debate now is sit him. What's the point? You clinched, whether you're the 6th seed or the 7th seed, or you somehow get into the 5th seed. You're on the road regardless. So What are we doing with Josh Allen? We playing this guy or what? What do you think?
The smart thing would be not to. Do expect him to at least start the game because he's got the Iron Man streak going. So he can go in there, take a snap, and exit. Or they can get a little risky and say, hey, there's some value in not being the 7th seed, which there is, because if things get turned around in the playoffs, you can end up hosting the AFC Championship game, which would be quite the story. So also you got Cook on the rushing title. I think Indianapolis plays at 1, which is good for us to know where that stands. And then Allen's, how much do they value that 40 TD a year streak?
I think they value it. Something tells me they value it.
Also, it's the last game in the stadium, the red helmets. I would not expect him to play the whole game. But do they put him out there for a couple series, try to get themselves a little bit of a lead, and then pull him out? I think that's very likely. It'd be very likely if they put him in just to snap it and get out of the game as well. So we'll see what ends up happening.
Well, James Cook is the leader in the house right now. He's got 1,600 yards. Good for that. What a year for James Cook, man. 1,600 yards rushing. He's averaged 5.2 yards a pop all season long. But, listen, he's had a fantastic year. 12 rushing touchdowns. I mean, he's not far off from what he did last year, man. He had 16 rushing touchdowns and two receiving. He had 18 altogether. So, dude, he's had a phenomenal year. How do you not allow him to cap it off by giving him the rushing title? To pull him from the rushing title, let that brother play, man. But obviously, you run into the risk of like, why risk it? You get hurt. He's what moves this offense, and now you're dealing with a big issue. But this is why the coaches get money to coach and make these decisions. So hopefully they make the right decision. I say play him. I mean, you guys extended the season to 18 games, bro. Play me. I want to play. So let me make my money now.
Cook or Allen? Talking about Cook or Allen?
I'm talking about Cook. I'm talking about Cook at this point.
All right.
Now, in terms of, and I was going to get to Josh Allen now. Now, in terms of Josh Allen, 39 total touchdowns. He's one shy. So, like, is it worth it? In a way, I like it because you're like 6 years of 40 touchdown plus. I'm just building on my legacy. But, like, at what cost? And you're saying the smart thing to do is not play him. So what do you think McDermott does? Does Josh have enough influence to say, yo, I respect what you're saying, bro, but let me at least try to get my touchdown?
Yeah. So don't play him to get the 40th touchdown. Play him if you want to build a little bit of a lead and then take him out. It's not worth it. What is a 40 touchdown streak going to go down in the history of the NFL? It's the total TDs. You understand? So it's just like sometimes they find ways to manufacture. He's the first to do it. If you add 3 things, like how many rushing touchdowns, passer rating over 95, and with this kind of weather, you know what I mean? So it's like
they like to do that.
when we're old men, they're not going to go back and say, "Hey, remember Josh Allen had those 6 40-year touchdowns?" They're going to be like, "No, he had 400 or 500 career touchdowns." Okay, so that's how I feel about that. But if they do want to get a lead, he's your best bet to get that lead and then pull him out. Now his foot, right? So
talk about it.
He had a midfoot injury a week and a half ago, so 2 games ago. He obviously kind of reset that healing clock on the foot because it was aggravated. If you do, I did put a clip up, slow motion clip. It doesn't look like a midfoot sprain that he dealt with during the Eagles game. Now there's no way me saying, hey, the way he rolled his ankle, it didn't aggravate it, because it probably did. But he rolled his ankle similar to, how you roll it when you play basketball. It folds over, or you step in a ditch. So that's a low ankle sprain. So it looked like he created a low ankle sprain and he had to play through it, which, I mean, you turn the foot over enough, you're probably going to irritate the middle of the foot if it's already ailing. So the midfoot sprains, I mean, best case, you can come back in a week. That's fine, but it really takes a couple weeks for sprains to heal over. So by having another tweak last week, now it reset the injury process. 2 weeks of recovery is a lot better than 1 week, especially with the playoffs coming around. You don't want that foot super cranky or getting more injury. The reason he keeps going into the x-ray tent is because midfoot sprains, say this is your foot and this is your big toe, okay? The long toes hit the middle of the foot. The ligaments across here are called the Liz Frank ligaments. A midfoot sprain, in essence, is a type of Liz Frank injury. The bad ones is when it's sprained so bad and then the toe fractures, the metatarsal. That is your season-ending. Cam Newton had it, right?
Okay.
And, even though guys can come back from that one, your foot's kind of messed up for the rest of your career. So every time he aggravates it, they want to make sure he didn't crack a bone in there, which is good that he hasn't. But it's still risky. And once things are a little stretched out, because they're sprained, they can stretch out more and more easily and cause the fracture. So with that said, he's your franchise. You're definitely not winning the Super Bowl without him. There's no reason to play him unless you selfishly want to make sure you're not the 7th seed or he gets 40 touchdowns. I just don't see it worth it. But all about him going in, taking the first snap and getting out of there would be the safe thing to do. If they score a touchdown or 2, you better get him out, no later than, I mean, don't have him coming out in the second half for sure. I don't want to be rambling too much, but Allen's a competitive guy. I mean, he just doesn't know when to quit. So he's already got a messed up foot, and he continues to do the exact same thing that messed up his foot the week before. That little 360 scramble, plant the right foot and come off it. That's exactly how he hurt it against Cleveland, because he was trying to pull that, and he does the exact same maneuver when he didn't have to against the Eagles game. So do you trust him going out there and protecting himself completely 100% right before the playoffs in week 18? I don't. So I don't I don't see why we should be playing him.
I'll tell you this.
That's how I feel about him.
Coach McDermott said business as usual. Now, what business as usual means, I mean, take it for what you will. Yeah. Business as usual mean, we're going to prepare the same way, and we're going in there and we're going to do what we need to do. I don't know if he says, damn all this sitting business, I want my guys ready to go. But then this is where he has to make the proper decision on what we got to do. So let's move on to next up, because this is the big one. I talked about it earlier, but we need to get into this Ed Oliver talk, man. Ed Oliver's already dealing with the old I think the old pec
bicep.
Was it the bicep? Yes, it's a bicep injury, and now knee scope.
Yeah,
talk to me. What's going on?
All right, so you got someone who has an upper body injury. They can train his legs. I mean, you got to wait like the first 2 weeks for like the stitches and stuff to come out. I mean, he could be riding the bike at that point, but now he's doing field drills. Okay, so he's training. I'm sure he's ramping up. He probably twisted, pivoted, and tore his meniscus. Not a good look, especially for a team that's, running off the flames of irritating Kincaid's PCL from last year when he was rehabbing a hamstring. Right. And maybe 6 to 7 other practice injuries that have caused starters to miss time. It looks terrible. In a nutshell, it's not too big of a deal because a knee scope doesn't really set you back too much. I mean, we saw it with TJ Sanders. He missed 5 weeks, 4 in the IR, and you just factor in he kind of missed the week before, and then he had a week of practice before he actually played. So it turned into like a 5 to 6 week ordeal for him. But EJ Manuel, if you want to look back at that, he had his knee scoped right before the season started his rookie year. He came back in less than 2 weeks to start week 1. So these guys can push it. Ed's a D lineman. Quarterbacks theoretically can protect themselves more. You definitely need more than 2 weeks. But you're looking at that 3 to 5 week range. Being a vet, being the end of the year, say my star D tackle gets a knee scope right now, I expect him back late in the playoffs with that, okay? So I don't think that changes. I do have a haircut. I just don't have it pushed back. Thanks, Bobby. And then I'm actually going for the Josh Allen look. And then, so long story short, it actually collides pretty well with his biceps because his bicep wasn't going to let him come back till the end of the playoffs anyways. So now you're going to get him coming back, just scraping the surface with rehabbing off his knee. And then the earliest he can possibly play with the bicep, that is around the AFC Championship game or Super Bowl. Super Bowl would probably be your safest bet. So it looks. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you mention about how the length, a typical knee scope? What's typically I don't know if I heard you say that. What's typically the length of time that one has to heal from that to be ready 100%, especially because he just got the surgery?
So the full range is 2 to 6 weeks.
Sheesh.
So like I said, like a quarterback who can protect himself can come back in 2 weeks. We saw it with EJ Manuel, but he's not running around every play. Not supposed to. But then you get a D lineman, which probably isn't as bad as a cornerback or a receiver. Okay, he's somewhere in between. So I put it out there 4 weeks, a month.
Sure.
And it still doesn't matter, though, because the bicep wasn't going to let him come back in 3 weeks. So that's kind of what I'm saying. But now if you want to just to recap it, you got a guy who is pushing to come back for a late playoff push, probably with about 80% of his bicep. And now he's going to be at about 85, 90% of his knee and leg because he had to have surgery right now. So now he's got a double whammy. He's got one bad arm, one bad knee. Is he going to make a difference? Is he worth sitting your bottom end D tackle to get him in for 20% of the snap counts to try to make a splash play on 3rd down in a passing situation? I don't know. Probably, but imagine if another D tackle goes down in a playoff game, you are screwed. So you might have to end up dressing an extra body just in case that happens, because you can't just like say, hey, sorry, Ed, now we want you on all the rundowns and bump up to 50%, because that's not going to go well. You get pushed around. It's delicate. Delicate.
Always delicate. Always delicate. All right,
Yeah.
brother. I'm anticipating, because I was already like hoping. I mean, you shut that down for me weeks ago when I was like, oh, maybe we can get him, like, last game of the season going into the wild card. You're like, bro, no. If anything, if he comes back, maybe AFC. And you said it clear, maybe AFC. Now with his knee, bro, I'm not anticipating him coming back at all. I think he's just done. I don't think he comes back. If he does, surprise, surprise. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up to see if we can get Ed Oliver back in the mix. So thank you for giving me that confidence to say, Rico, just chill out. Chill out. We got you.
Yeah.
All right. So Ed, Nisco, bicep, we're gonna chill on him. Josh Allen's gonna be Josh Allen. If they sit him, they sit him. We'll see and find out. We got a hamstring, obviously, from our guy Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa's dealing with a hamstring. I don't know if it's the one that he was dealing before, if this is a new one, but hamstrings, they're tricky. You already know what time it is when it comes to hamstring. It can take some time, but I think this is more of a precautionary. This was more of a walkthrough. That's why they had a designated did not practice when it comes to Joey Bosa. Now, talk to me about Kincaid. Kincaid is one that has been frustrating a lot of people, and I need some insight here. So he goes from, let's bring it back. He goes from playing to then not playing, then limited, then missing a game, and then playing. There's been a lot of this up and down with him. And then the game that we thought he was going to play last week doesn't end up playing. What are they hiding something from us? Is there something more going on with this guy than they're presenting?
I don't think so. Before I get into Kincaid, let me just piggyback on the hamstrings, because you could lump Poyer in there too. Poyer, hamstrings take at least 2 weeks. Poyer would be, this is his second game he would miss if he misses this week, if I'm not mistaken.
If he misses, this would be Poyer's second.
Yeah, which means by this weekend, it'll be 3 weeks from the injury. I think you just shut Poyer down and give him the full month, because you're really going to need him in the playoffs. The older the guy, the harder it is to come back. Now, Bosa had the hamstring, and he only missed one game, so he got 2 weeks of rest. And now you see how he's still on the injury report, and he's missing practices early in the week, which means it probably wasn't fully recovered. But a position like a D lineman, you can kind of cover it up, because these guys don't really stretch it out like the skill players. So with that said, Bosa, I'm going to think they're going to shut him down this week. And I don't think it means because he hurt himself. I think they're just trying to give him the best ability to become the best version of himself, take steal out of McDermott's words, entering the playoffs. And same thing with Poyer. Poyer, if he had to, I'm sure he can come back this week. But I think they're just going to shut him down until the playoffs, especially with older veteran players like that. Now, the Kincaid thing. Kincaid's different this week because he's limited. So let's try to walk it back if I can remember correctly. He had the hamstring. He missed 3 games. As he was about to miss his 4th straight game, they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, he's in a knee brace. He also hurt his knee, which is he hurt the knee on not the leg he was rehabbing. He was rehabbing his right hamstring, and now he's re-injured his left knee. That left knee caused him to miss a month last year for a PCL. He didn't have surgery. It obviously was vulnerable. So during rehab, which is ridiculous, he was able to sprain his PCL. I'm assuming it's especially a PCL because the team said it's not actually a new injury. It's just kind of an aggravation of something he had. So barring that he has like some type of cartilage issue that they haven't disclosed, which I don't think they did, I think he just re-sprained his PCL. Probably minor, but these are ones that need a couple weeks. But you know what? They needed him. They put him in there anyways. He's only been playing like 19 to 20 snaps, which is like
not very much.
Only up to like 30% of the snap share. And then he played 2 games. And then before he played his second one, they actually shut him down for most of the week. He went DMP, limited, played. That was his second game back from the hamstring/knee injury. Then last week he went DMP, limited, but he didn't play. And the coach mentioned earlier in the week, going into the Eagles game, that he had a little bit of a setback. And I thought at first they were referring to his initial injury in the knee during the hamstring rehab, but that is not the case. I double checked with one of the beat reporters. He said no, he made it. He was saying that in regards to his recent 2 games back, which means PCL is shot and he re-aggravated. So they shut him down for a game. Now you're entering this Jets game. It looks a little more optimistic. He's coming into the week as limited on a Wednesday because he was DNP the last 2 weeks. But still, what are we doing? Like, if this guy's knee is definitely not right, do not put him in week 18. You already brought Latu up to the 53.
Yep.
This game does not matter. Just put him out one more week. He'll get 2 more weeks of rest.
I can't see them playing him, especially because last week would have been one to like, if you really wanted to make a statement and something happened, sure. They kind of already knew their fate with the Patriots winning their game against the Jets. So they kind of, I'm sure that played a part. I wouldn't say that played a part, but I'm sure it solidified them saying, sit him and chill. Week 18 against the Jets, sit and chill. There's nothing more than you need than to have a guy that's supposed to open up this offense, go out and rupture and mess something up. Because, I mean, you know it. You deal with these things daily. Some guys will overcompensate for something, and then they use something else way more, and then that's what ends up getting injured. So, I mean, listen, I totally get it. I'm glad you kind of put it in perspective for us in terms of Kincaid. Yeah. Sid is behind, and hopefully he's ready to go come playoff time. That's the way I look at it. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. You pretty much nailed it on Kincaid. Dawson Knox is dealing with a knee injury, limited. I can't see there being much of an issue there. Cam Lewis limited. Jordan Phillips is limited now, so maybe he might be ramping back up. Prater,
throw him up, and we'll just so I can get.
Let's go one by one. All right, let's do it. So I'm looking at. Let's start at the bottom here. Prater with that quad. Bagley gone, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Now we're
wasn't really Bagley's fault. I mean, he missed the extra point, but Torrance got blown up. I think that's 2 weeks in a row, correct?
100%. I know.
Yeah.
Well aware. So the fact of the matter is they let him go. So Prater's now been done 2 weeks now. He was supposed to be out for what? I think a month is what we talked about. Usually a quad has you about 4 weeks.
Yep.
Bro, like we're right in the middle of this. So what are we doing here? What are we doing?
How long has he actually been out for? He's been
2
out
weeks.
For 2 games.
Yeah, 2 games.
He missed 2 games, right? So he'll be 3 weeks recovered. I mean, listen, a young, healthy player, 2 to 4 weeks for a very mild quad strain, but it's a kicker, and he's 41. So we factor that in. Also, there's 2 types of quads. Generally, when you're a skilled player or a regular player, when you pull a quad, it's only the quad that kind of crosses the knee joint. But when you're a kicker and you got to swing that leg back, there's a hip flexor called your rectus femoris, which crosses your knee and your hip. So it's actually kind of a hip flexor too. Those ones take longer. Generally, those are more common in kickers. Are you still with me, brother?
I'm still with you, man. I gave you that solo shot because I wanted you were getting into it, so I was giving it to you.
I was afraid you got dropped. Anyways, so with that said, obviously, if the team's bringing him back, at 3 weeks, I think we can rule out it was a hip flexor and it was more of a distal quad, which is a good thing. But he's still 41. I don't know if there's value in the team like, hey, let's put him out this week because he thinks he's good. And if he can get through the game doing his normal kicking duties and not aggravate it, then we'll feel better for the playoffs. And if he does, then we'll at least know we got to shut him down and go with a new guy. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to go in with the unknown of the kicker potentially tweaking his quad that he's just getting over the recovery with and have that happen early in a playoff game. Because we said it last time, like, what are you going to do if he's like opening kickoff, pulls his quad? You're kind of screwed. You're not going to be kicking extra points the whole game. It's going to change everything. So in a way, silver lining here, not only that it's good that he's able to bounce back a little quicker than we thought. At least they're going to get a trial run with him and see how it goes. And if it goes bad, then you got to roll with a new kicker. All right.
Which brings me back to Tyler Bass for a quick second. So clearly there was a major injury with Tyler Bass being out. The fact that they said we're going to deem him gone for the year. You initially take that information in. You're like, oh wow, it must have been really bad. Well, Prater's doing pretty well, so we're cool. But look, what if Prater starts to struggle, and you're like, man, like it makes you go back to like we have an expensive kicker that we thought was going to be ready to go, and then they just shut him down. This must have been a serious enough injury that I hope it gets rectified and it doesn't linger into next year and shorten this man's career. Care to touch on that injury a little, or kind of like it is what it is. He's on IR for the year. Leave it the way it is.
Yeah, it was an interesting injury to begin with because it was pelvic pain,
right?
And then it became groin hip once they got to like preseason. They shut him down for like a month, let him kick for a week, and then it got re-aggravated. Then he didn't have surgery right away, which made you think, oh, they're just going to shut him down for a couple months.
Right.
Prater's fine. You got one in the oven. If you got to Prater goes down, you could just activate him. And then he got surgery later in the year. So it's obviously something that he couldn't get over without a surgical fix. We did think this osteitis pubis, which is pain like, basically underneath your sack, where the two pelvis bones meet. But I'm actually leaning towards that's probably not what it was, because then they said it was a groin hip issue. I would think that he had like a core muscle injury. You see that a lot. They call it core, they call it groin.
It's all connected.
And if that's what he had, I mean, it's a really good surgery. The results are really good, but that's for most players, not for kickers. And if it, with the delicacy of, you have to have good mechanics and be consistent, and you can't like really rush that one back. It's not like this is like an offensive lineman, you know what I mean, who could just deal with some pain. If you're having pain when you're kicking it, you're going to be off, and it's not going to go well. So long term, I don't know, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we never see Bass again. And that doesn't mean he's going to be out of the league, but they're just like, hey, the dead cap's stomachable now after this season. We didn't really trust him because he's been shaky with his mental for a while, and now he's got this injury that adds a whole nother layer. Let's just cut bait, go with a new guy.
That would be an interesting. That'd be an interesting route to take. That's for sure. Okay, so T Bass, I like that. I kind of like that update. That update you just gave me on T Bass. So hopefully he makes a big time recovery, comes back, and starts kicking the heck out of that football. I mean, we pretty much hit on all the major points that I wanted to touch on. Obviously, Josh Allen being the main one. Ed Oliver with that
Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard, I was just about to see on Bernard right now. So the second list on there is Calf. I worry about Bernard, but I don't, because I know that we have Shaq Thompson. Selfish of me to think that way. But Bernard,
they always do better. They always do better when Shaq's in there. So
I know. But I want Bernard. I want Mr. Bernard to turn back to Mr. Bernard. But he just hasn't been.
Season.
He's been rough. It's been rough for this brother, man. Is this calf really hindering him to the point where he's playing the way he's playing?
He didn't have a calf injury before this game. He pulled his calf. It's a new injury. He had the ankle. He had the hamstrings in camp. He had the elbow sprain. Now he comes back and he pulled his calf. It's 4 different injuries in 1 year. He's shot right now. Calves will take at best 2 to 3 weeks, which puts him, divisional round potentially. Buddy. Do you dress him? Do you give him a full month? Honestly, I think the writing's on the wall that this is going to be Shaq Thompson's linebacking core, and don't expect Bernard to do anything until next year. I don't know if it's all these injuries that are screwing him up, or if it's his mental too. Like, he's been kind of spiraling a little bit. I don't know. That's up to the coaches to figure out, though.
I guess that opens up the door for Matthew Judon. Not that for him it's going to replace him, but it's a roster spot. Matthew Judon's on the practice squad, so if they make my man inactive, Judon comes in now. There hasn't been a whole lot from Judon. Obviously, he's only been here 2 weeks. Coach was talking about, hey man, he's only been doing practice like walkthroughs, so there's not a whole lot of stuff that we've been able to give him. But there comes a point where you're gonna have to try to figure out what we got in Judon. So maybe week 18 gives us a glimpse, and then into the playoffs, we have an elevated amount of pass rush coming from Judon. So these injuries are adding up. I'm not taking it as an excuse either. Everyone's banged up. We just got to fight through it and do what must be done. So here's a non-related injury question.
Yeah.
The Bills tinkering between being the 7th seed, maybe the 6th seed. Is there a team that you're like, I'd rather avoid that team?
I think anybody with a really, really good defense scares me. So Denver and Houston. Because listen, Allen's going to probably Allen, but if they can suppress him, you're really limited with your chances. So Denver's got a great defense, and so does Houston. Anyone else, he can go off for 30, and just have to be above his average. I'm not really scared of anyone's offense in the playoffs, but the defense is going to give up those points. So you really got to 5 minutes. 5 minutes, almost rare.
Yeah.
He wants to play in the snow. So I just don't want a team that can keep us under 30 because you got to assume you got to get 30 to get
we're in trouble.
So just the defenses scare me. I'm actually usually like playing a team a third time's a little weird, right? Because that's just a lot of similarities.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked good against us early, even though we stormed back. But honestly, after all this drama in the last 24 hours with the Patriots, like I feel like they're about to combust. I mean, the Diggs felony. Then you got Barmore. Barmore's got a misdemeanor, just came out today. I think people are just licking their chops for one more little drama thing from this unraveling. So what if his quarterback's wife's like, what if we hear that like that bake miss she was doing, there was like her cookie sucked or something, it starts coming out. I think it's
Watch
over.
Out.
Yeah.
It is over. All right, man. Listen, one last thing before you get out of here.
Yeah.
Just a random question. Who do you think is our leading sack artist on our team? Who do you think has got the most sacks on our team? Just curious who you think it is.
Bosa?
No. It's not
Groot?
Bosa. I thought it was Bosa. It's not.
Ed Alver?
No.
And it's not Groot.
It is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Greg Rousseau
didn't he
got
have like
7
2.5
sacks
game
this
ago?
year.
How many sacks did he get against Cleveland? Because that probably
2.5. 2.5, 3, call it 3, 2.5. But still, like I would have. We didn't talk about Greg all year, and all of a sudden he's the guy that's leading the team in 7 sacks. I found that fascinating when we were talking about like Ed Oliver, and I was looking up some stuff while you were talking. Rousseau is the guy that leads the team with sacks with 7. Bosa's got 5. Go figure. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to touch on that. Listen, you have yourself like, you got the shiesty on?
Yeah, it's Red Week.
You got the Buffalo Bills helmet shiesty. I like it.
Yeah.
Brother, go handle your business. Enjoy the time with your family. Listen, Happy New Year. Are you doing a big meal for today, or is it just going to be easy peasy home cooked meal?
No, we're going to do a little surf and turf.
Attaboy.
It'll be fun.
Business,
we're just doing a little family thing.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll catch you.
Snowing here.
We'll catch you guys. We'll catch you again, brother.
All right. I love you.
All right, my guy.
Bills. Happy New Year.
Peace. All right, that's my guy, Thigh Doc. Listen, I'm not going to be on here very long. Listen, I wanted to just say shout out to every one of you guys tuned in. I got a super chat coming in. Let me get that from my guy, Led Rapster. I didn't see that, man. Said, am I the only one who thinks Ed is made of glass? It feels like bro is never available. BF is the best channel on YouTube. Thigh Doc is the best sports medicine analyst on the web. He's going to catch us afterwards. I'm going to send that love to you. Thank you for that, my money man, Money Mitch. Listen, man, at the end of the day, here's what it comes out to. Next man up. It's always going to be next man up. It's always going to remain next man up. It really sucks that we don't have a current kicker right now. Maybe they feel really good about Prater coming back. And Prater is making them feel like, listen, I'm going to give it my all. I'm 41 years old. You're going to get everything I got. So maybe they're there. Maybe to the point where they may roll with no kicker on this Sunday, this coming up Sunday, and they just roll with Ray Davis. Ray Davis does the kicking, and they just roll with that going forward. Who knows, right? But you'd also don't want to take this game. You want to take this game seriously as well because you want to win this game, right? And then we can get our 12th win and keep it rolling. But the way I look at it is these injuries happen. You get over it, and you move on and try to do what you got to do. Key thing is Josh has been an Iron Man. Josh has been healthy for most of his career, other than that elbow shoulder injury that he sustained early on into his career. He's been pretty damn good at staying on the field. You got to give him that love, man. And you know also I got to give love? I got to give love to Mason or Maso. Mason? I don't know. Am I reading that right? Well, shout out to my guy Mason coming through, becoming a much love to you right before the year. I love that. That's always a plus. So salute to you. Appreciate it. That's love right there. So I'm gonna read a couple comments going into last show of the year, and we'll go from there. We'll start with my guy, my man Walter comes in and says, "Yo, Blankenship has no leg. His longest kick was 53-yarder." I mean, there's enough big name kickers out there that we could have brought in, but we brought in Bagley. I mean, Justin Tucker's still out there, but we didn't bring him in because maybe controversy. Who knows? Who knows? Walter says, "I'm not sold on Denver's defense." I'm not sold on Denver. Denver's defense is really that good? Hold on. I'm not sold that Denver's defense is really that good. I mean, listen, they're up there. They're up there in terms of, I mean, they got some good guys. Benito out there. They got Allen, defensive tackle. They got some good pieces. You got the shutdown corner in Surtain. So I mean, there's a lot to be desired on that defense. And they gave us some fits that first playoff game, and then we kind of opened things up a little bit. It's one of those things where you just gotta just let things play out. But for me, I'm not really stressed on playing anybody. I made a case last night that I feel like we might be one of the more dangerous teams coming in. Don't look at the ranking. I mean, obviously you guys know that, but I'm making this case for everybody else. Don't look at this 6 seed, 7 seed Bills. Don't look at that. Just look at what does Josh Allen historically do when the playoffs come, and what has this defense been trending towards. So the defense has been trending extremely well, and Josh turns it on in the playoffs. So if those things can come together, that's a nasty, nasty team to try to play against. So be careful. That's all it is. Or we just fall flat on our face and we are who we are. But that optimism in me tells me, listen, man, that defense is playing some good ball. I think we figured some things out. Josh turns it on. We need guys to all be on the same page. Maybe we got something. Well, I guess we'll have to see. All right, let me see some here. I got what's that say? Oh, Allen. Allen comes in and says, going to have to face any of these teams at some point on our way to the Super Bowl, so bring them on. That's the way I look at it, man. And it's one by one. You got to go on the road, every one of them. So listen, you might as well strap in and get ready to go. My man Gray says, "Yo, I had the same issue as Bass. Let me tell you, that thing sucks. If you don't keep your core straight, it's going to come back." Oh, good to know. Got to keep the core straight. Got to lay off the beers and just chilling out as a kicker. So my man's got to stay tight. Okay, good to know, man, because it doesn't sound like if you have to miss the year, as young as he is, miss the year and have surgery, it had to be serious enough. It had to be serious enough. We got a super chat coming from Mace. My man says it's Mas. It's Spanish. Oh, what's up, Mas? Maso Dia Bodam. Okay, here we go. I got you, brother. I got you, Maso. So my man Maso says it's Spanish. Sorry, but this defense is giving me hope we can bring something to the new high mark. Let's rally the wagons, bro. I'm trying to get on that. I'm trying to get on that. Right now, I'm like halfway there, but I'm talking myself into thinking like this team has the ability to do it, and we can scare a lot of teams. So right now, I kind of like that teams are somewhat overlooking the Bills, right? Because they're looking at all those other teams. Just let that wild card game happen, and we win that wild card game, and now teams are gonna be like, yo, they're gonna be right back. All the Bills got to do is win that wild card game. Clearly, obviously, right? We know that. But once you win that wild card game, then they're going to be right back on the Bills saying, oh, watch out for these Bills, man. These Bills, what might do it? They're going to get into all that chat. But right now, because it's the wild card, anything can happen to the wild card. But once we do, you know what I'm saying? And then Josh turns it on the way we think he can. Shoot, we might have something there. All right. I appreciate you, Maso. Much love to you. You guys have a happy new year. I have to get out of here because the wifey came down and she stands at the door and she was like, what are we doing? So I gave her one of these. Gave me 30 minutes. I've been here, 40? We pushing it. So your boys gotta get out of here. So folks, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your New Year's. Be safe. If you're gonna partake in drinking and all that stuff, y'all know what to do, man. Just relax. Don't drive. Catch a cab, catch the Uber, get somebody to get you Uber. You know what I mean? Pay them back later. You know what I'm saying? We get that part. You wanna go into the new year. You want to go into the new year, right? And not be, you know what I mean, facing tragedy because you made a bad decision. Don't be making those bad decisions, folks. You guys enjoy yourself, enjoy your meal, and spend time with the people that you love, man. And that's what it comes down to. So that's my time. Appreciate you guys. Have a great New Year. This is the last stream of the year. Last stream of 2025. So we go out with a bang, and we're going to hopefully start 2026 off with a bang with some new energy, and we rock it. All right? Y'all have a great one. It's your boy Rico. It's the Rico Report, and we'll catch you guys on the flip. We'll see you guys back potentially on Friday. Peace.
Studies show that 100% of everybody in the world wants to curl up indoors and do nothing because it's so darn cold out there. That's why many people are turning to Bombas, whose pillowy plush slippers and warm merino wool socks have been said to be the most comfortable in the history of feet. Bombas products have been found to boost coziness by up to 1,000,000%. Okay, enough fake statistics, but could Bombas socks and slippers really be the cure? Go to bombas.com/audio and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO.